Let's talk finally about Mario Kart World. I am freaking hyped for this game because, for one, I'm a massive Mario Kart fan, but on the other hand, as such, I am freaking sick of 10 years of Mario Kart 8. And seeing this in not only seeing it in the direct, but seeing the expanded gameplay from Treehouse Live since, this game actually I think even went beyond what I could ever hope for. Because I thought Mario Kart was like locked into this specific vision Nintendo had for it, where they add like a gimmick or two each new game. That I think honestly for the recent games have been a little lacking. Like anti-gravity didn't really change much, and even flying underwater didn't feel like it changed much. Like all those more changed with just how the stages could be built. You know, crazy verticality, being able to go underwater, like it looked cool, but that was basically about it. Here is a massive game changer, putting everything into a single connected world, which Double Dash kind of teased 20 years ago, by the way. But putting everything in a single world where you can literally drive anywhere, and you can seemingly go off-road for like possibly insane shortcuts. I freaking adore this. And with 24 racers, you know, the biggest roster ever, which by the way, also, I love this roster. They've gone crazy with it. You could race as fish bones? Like, that's nuts. Like, Pokey? Like, this is insane. That's what I want.
Hold up. I'm going to do the same again I did earlier. They're adding the Moo Cow.
The Moo Cow! How could I forget the Moo Cow? The best course of all time now in character form. I already love this game. I already love everything about it, and honestly, I can see why now it's basically functioning as a 3D Mario for launch, because it is like it has that energy, and it's a 3D world, and I am so excited to get this game myself and play it nonstop. And it's the exact change Mario Kart needed after all these years. I'm so glad that Nintendo did not take the safe route with this, but they totally could have. They could have gone simple, make 32 more tracks, and that's it, But they're going nuts here, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, this game it's unbelievable that this is actually happening. Especially playing Mario Kart 8 for 10 years. Like, This is the refreshment, this is the refinement that we needed for a Mario Kart game. Yeah, and that roster is unbelievable. I think someone out there is saying, like, the count might be, like, 84 characters in the game, which is a little disappointing because I say that number because I think each custom or outfit slot is a character slot on the selection page. I don't think they're actually together. Like if you play if you play I don't know if you saw that. Did you?
No, wait, how does that make sense though? Aren't there 10 for Mario alone?
Yeah, so I think I guess there would probably be more than that. Oh, and maybe the minions won't have costumes, but the main Mario characters will.
Wait, the minions from Illumination? No, the Mario movie? The ultimate crossover!
But Snowman and Fishbones might not have outfits.
Okay, but if you look at my main question of today, how does Goomba drive?
We don't know yet, right? I don't think we've seen him. I gotta know. Does he use his mind powers like a Mario baseball? Or does he... What I really want to see him is use his mouth. Is just him flying around with the steering wheel? He turns left or right.
hey, I don't want to double bother people, but remember Dr. Mario World? He was a stack and he was a doctor.
That's true. Good point. But man, I did not think Nintendo could blow me away with a Mario Kart again, and they truly have here. Like it looks so fun. Being able to drive anywhere and check out the world.
The roster is so out there, though.
It's so out there.
It's so good.
It's so good. Like
and then we should start talking about gameplay.
We should, I know.
but I already coined this phrase earlier, and I've said it multiple times over the last 2 days, and I think I should continue saying it. They really Forza Horizon Mario Kart, huh?
They really did. That's really what it is.
And Don, you bring that up, and I never played Forza, but I've heard about the open world style of the games. I played a bit of Burnout Paradise, and I just hope that there's a lot to do when you're just driving around in the open world, right? Like I hope it's not just like, here's the open world, and you can just drive, and that's really what you do. Like I really hope there's maybe like challenges, like maybe like collect 100 rings before you get to this point, or maybe there's like an enemy that comes up, and you have to just race them in like a drift race or something like that. I hope there's interactions in the open world.
So for me, like traditional racing games have sort of become boring because of how Horizon exists. Because after Paradise, there was not much that was really like it. But the way that you just have an open scale world and can drive wherever you like and just mess around with it for a while. And if you're interested in a race or two, you do a race or two. That's what this seems like. And I'm perfectly okay with that.
I'm gonna make I don't know if it's a bold prediction. I'm gonna say it though. I think it's a bold prediction. I predict that there's a Mario Kart Direct coming up. they have to be hiding some big features, some big things they haven't talked about. That, I think, is absolutely going to be a story-based mode. I don't think they made this giant world just for the sake of, like, changing how the core races work. I think there's going to be an actual freaking story here.
There must be at least, or something that's just be an adventure-esque.
At the least, at the least, adventure-esque. But I think there'll be a light story. But my point more is there will be a big single-player campaign, and you'll be able to go around, maybe get quests from Toads. I'm gonna make the prediction: you can hop out of your cart in the single-player mode. I think you can fully explore. There are points in the game where you can see like question blocks that you can't reach in your cart, seemingly, and it makes me wonder: can you hop out on foot? And I'm not betting the house on that one specifically, but I think it's possible. And there could even be buildings that maybe you go into, or something, or go into warp pipes or whatever. And I think this is going to blow people away. I think this is a secret best feature. Historically, single-player Mario Kart's kind of sucked, with a handful of exceptions. This could be like the Diddy Kong Racing shakeup that we've been asking for forever.
Yeah, and Andre, you bring up that point of like getting out of your cart, right, and having like a specific single story mode or adventure mode single player. If that's the case, I can only see them maybe allowing you to play as like Mario and Luigi, maybe, because like if you're playing as like Snowman, you're not jumping into him.
No, and Bowser, if he's a minion, of course he has to, or a bad guy, he has to be doing his own thing. Yeah.
No, you're definitely going to play as Snowman. Don't kid yourself.
Real quick, Dubious Food in the chat goes, yes! I love this. Like, that's what we want, right? Like, I'll be honest. I've before said I don't want Mario Kart single player. I don't play Mario Kart for single player. I play for the multiplayer. And to be clear, even if there is no single story mode, I love what we have. But now that I see this giant open world, I'm seeing the potential now. I'm like, oh my god, this could be amazing. Nintendo really goes a distance. And that could be another possible explanation for that $80 price point. Again, not a fan of it, but on top of an epic multiplayer game, being also a giant epic single player campaign, that kind of, again, better fills in that role for that lacking 3D Mario. Yeah. Mind blown.
Even if there's not like a very single player focus, I think they're still going to add stuff that makes it worth it to free roam.
Yeah,
because it would else feel empty otherwise. So I do think there's at least something to it, and it might not necessarily be a full single player mode, but at least you can toy around and have fun with it.
Right. We've already seen them race around with 4 other people, which, by the way, if there is a story mode, I would love your co-op too. Diddy Kong Racing had a co-op story mode. Why not play with Mario and Luigi going through the world together? This could finally be the Mario and Luigi 3D Mario we've been asking for forever.
What if you do a battle mode within the free roam world?
Oh, yeah, chat's been asking about battle mode.
About that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they've confirmed that yet, battle mode.
No, they haven't. I don't think they've said anything about it. And that's
I think that would be a very logical way to just go to an area of the map and have a battle mode there.
You know what I want? I want them to go beyond battle mode. I want like Rocket League style stuff here. There's what there's a soccer field. You can play a game of soccer with Mario Karts. What if there's I don't know, like different unique challenges where maybe you have to collect as many coins as possible or something. I guess I already have that kind of, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to think of the different ideas. Yeah. The flowers in the game, not flower, the feather. So maybe there could be like a jumping based challenge or like a platforming segment almost.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Having like little challenges around the world for you to do. It's like, oh, this area is specific to the I can't say it again. These are the little feathers. So it's like what you're supposed to do is just jump. They just give you ultimate feathers, and you have to complete it within like a minute or two.
Right.
I also like going into the actual tracks. I find it interesting that we saw a lot of them. I didn't see a location for Rainbow Road.
No, they are hiding something there. Obviously, Rainbow Road, we all know, takes place in the sky. We've not seen anything sky-based yet, but there was also a tease. At one point, you hear Mario Galaxy music. And I'm thinking there's more going on here. I think there's a whole like second tier of tracks above. Maybe not as many as below. But I think so. I think there could be a Galaxy-inspired level here. But also, I'm almost picturing a network of Rainbow Roads. You have all the Rainbow Roads as part of this giant network, including a brand new one. And I think at some point in the game, you'll unlock the access point to them, where like the Rainbow Roads like extend from the surface, and you drive up them, to the sky. And
wait, Andre, that's not crazy. For one, like you saying like that there's an upper area. I'm thinking Tears of the Kingdom. Like you have a whole upper section, and then there's gonna be a whole ground section. Yeah, they're gonna be the deaths of driving. But no, you say that, you say like the Rainbow Road and you just drive onto the track and then you're in the sky. The Mario movie has that, right? Like in the Mario movie, they're taking the Rainbow Road to go from like the Donkey Kong area all the way to the Mushroom Kingdom.
There's precedent again, exactly. It connects the world together. Oh my god, I need this more than anything now. Oh man, but let's anything else about the open world? You guys
So I guess the collectibles, which we did see in the treehouse today, right? Like we did see the outfits that you could collect, because when Mario got like a burger, or they did show that in the trailer yesterday, but when Mario got a food item, he would eat it and then transform his clothes.
Right.
So what we did see in the treehouse, it looks like there's maybe 10 different clothing items per character, and it looks like there's different food items depending on like the region that you're in. Like I was talking to you about that earlier. Yeah, I was talking about that with you earlier. Like they were in the Japanese style level, and they got the what is it? I can't think of the word, tamagoyaki or tamagoyaki. Like the little.
Right.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. But yeah, so having that, and then on top of that too, we also did see for like a brief second that the city or the track areas had 10 different question mark blocks around them. So maybe those are the collectibles that you'll be getting for each specific area.
I hope there's more. I love the idea of collectibles in general. We'll talk about the outfits in a moment. I don't know if I even understand them. But I would love that there are like hidden collectibles. Again, Diddy Kong Racing, it had keys hidden around the world that unlocked new things that you could do, or new rather how to get to the boss, I think, or the battle stages, whatever. I would love if they do something like that here. Again, the story mode or the 3D Mario elements of it would be great. Like whether it's finding power stars or maybe enhancements for your vehicle. I guess we know that doesn't seem to be in the game this time, which I'm actually happy about. Right. Thank God. But real quick, we had some more comments on the space idea of Rainbow Road. Dubious Food said there's a rocket ship. Yeah, pointing out my analysis. Maybe the rocket ship's the key here. Major Hurricane says, imagine in Mario Kart solar system. But I would love if there were a stage where you are, like it has an anti-gravity mechanic from Mario Galaxy, where you can like hop from planet to planet, at the least, right?
And maybe that's why they're not showing the anti-gravity right now, because it's not going to happen until you're in space.
That makes so much sense. Oh my god, that actually makes so much sense. I love that. Yeah, good idea. Although, to bring it back to the mechanics real quick, there's no anti-gravity from what we've seen so far, but the carts do have the ability to, like, ride on walls still, you know? They're able to hop in between walls at points.
Yeah, there was the wall jumping at one point on like the little girders or the grates or whatever, and then on top of that, a new mechanic. There's grinding now.
I called that during the stream,
which is insane. You called that, but I'm like, what does the grinding actually do? Does it just give you a boost? I was hoping that there'd be a little meter like Tony Hawk, where you have to kind of balance yourself on it. But I think it's pretty straightforward. You just go onto the rail, and then you can jump off it or on it like anytime.
It did suggest they did say something in Treehouse, something about like how you can grind more, or you can like lean into it or something. I think.
Oh, really?
It sounded like it. So I'm not quite sure exactly how that feels, but that's a fun new mechanic. Like I like that. Like it gives you more to do during a race, and especially this more open world where you can grind up like power lines and railings to like reach these really crazy vertical areas. Like that's such a good idea. And furthermore, I love how it ties into like how shortcuts will work, because I mentioned before, like I found the shortcuts in the newer Mario Karts kind of boring. Like they don't feel that much risk versus reward. They don't really take you that far off the even beaten path. It's more like a little quick detour. And these seem like these could be game changers where you're on entirely different pathways. And that could be a lot of fun, especially with 24 racers now.
I do think there must be some sort of boundary when you're racing in the Grand Prix, though.
I think there would be, yeah. I don't think it's totally open.
There's definitely going to be a boundary, because I think the game still applies or allows you to have that option of the auto driving, which was introduced in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Or if you're playing with people that don't quickly play too much, you can just put on like auto gas and auto driving. So I think there definitely will be barriers in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think there would have to be. Real quick, Toady says, in the segment where they explain the specs of the Switch 2, there's a brief moment of Mario driving in the ocean, and there's a large cloud enemy, maybe a boss. God, I don't remember this.
I did, so when they were showing like the Switch specs for like the first time, I noticed it too. I watched it a few times. It's the cloud enemy from Mario Odyssey.
3D World? Or it was also 3D World.
Yeah. Oh, the one that blows on you, right? Yeah, the Mario Kart ride as well in the Mario Party minigame.
Yeah, so I did look at it a few times. I'm like, I was hoping that it was an enemy, something like a Diddy Kong Racing. Like I was thinking the octopus
bosses?
enemy. Yeah, bosses. So that's what I was hoping for.
It seemed like you were pretty much driving in open waters, and I think it's very close to the remake of the Peach Beach track.
Oh yeah, I did say that to you, Andre. Yeah.
Yep, Nick was talking about that. Yeah, a video on the website like shows a very similar design. I don't know if it's necessarily exactly meant to be Peach Beach, but it does look similar, and it even has a quack. What's that name? The
quack.
Yeah, I mean,
quack quack.
Something like.
Yeah. I mean, if I look at the actual design of the track,
quack.
If I look at the actual design of the track, it does seem very similar.
It does, yeah.
Because you do see one frame with the Daisy Cruiser in the background.
Oh, I actually missed that. Then that cements it. I agree. Although, interestingly, with you not being able to go in the water, that could change how it feels potentially. If you're not able, because right now we know how it works is like the gliders seem to be gone, and its place is like something similar. And I actually thought initially it looked like you had powered flight, but I don't. It looks like it may just still be very glider-like. Am I mistaken on that?
Glider-like.
Yeah,
I was hoping that it
feels very glider-like.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a little disappointing. I was hoping for a little bit more like Sonic Racing Transformed, but with a more open nature of the gameplay, maybe that's for the best. Maybe that will work here. It's a little bit like Breath of the Wild, but I do like the addition of boats. Or your transformation into like a hovercraft or boat of some kind. I always found underwater, as I mentioned earlier, kind of boring. It didn't really change anything. It just looked different. But boats could absolutely change how it feels. Again, Diddy Kong Racing, and I love that. So
Diddy Kong Racing and Sonic Racing Crossroads, right? Like they use that mechanic so well in both of those games. And like you said, like just driving underwater in Mario Kart 8 was just, oh, I'm underwater now and I'm driving. This doesn't really make sense.
My screen's blue now. Yeah, it didn't. So, Daan,
but I think free roam. I hope it's even if there's not a full dedicated single player mode, and I'm not necessarily suggesting that there should be. I hope at least like exploring the world is rewarding, because what I'm like my clear reference to it once again is Forza Horizons, because that's the most recent style of games that do this. Like even if you don't participate in races, there is always something in the distance or like a thing you can interact with.
Right.
And if that feels like a constant feel, like there's also like a constant reminder of, hey, I should try free roam and do this.
Yeah, good point. Builder Jr. says, did anyone catch Daisy's emblem on the castle from Shy Guy Bazaar? Could this be a part of Sarasa Land? Now that's interesting, because, everyone has long thought that Daisy is intrinsically tied to deserts because of that being the first world of Super Mario Land. Now, technically, all 4 worlds in that game are part of Sarasa Land, so she's no more tied to that kingdom than any others. But I would love if Nintendo leaned into that idea, especially in advance of the Mario movie 2, in which Daisy very possibly could appear. And I would love if, that desert played a role in her kingdom as well. So yeah, I'm all for it. I have not seen this. I'll have to go take a look. Because that'd be amazing. I would love if they actually embrace that.
There's so much details you can overlook in this world, because like I just mentioned the detail earlier, but even looking at clips of the website, I see stuff every single time I look at those. It's bizarre.
It is. It's crazy. Like it's impossible to cover. I was working on analysis last night. And I got it out luckily, but I realized, one, I could be here literally forever finding new details, and 2, if I am, there's gonna be more details coming, like in today's Treehouse, which sure enough, and the direct coming up, I just gotta get this video out. So originally I was doing like a full track-by-track breakdown, like this is stupid, like I'm gonna be here for weeks, and so luckily people seem to appreciate the analysis.
No kidding.
But yeah, what else about this game excites us? Like any other mechanics we haven't touched on yet, like, or anything else of the hopes, or?
I mean, we touched on it briefly, but I'm a huge fan of outfits, right? Like, I just love dressing up my characters, especially when you could do it as Mario Odyssey. Like, that was such a cool thing. And I'm happy that they're making it more of a bigger deal in this compared to, I guess, the previous Mario Karts, right? Because, like, I don't want to play as Gold Peach or Gold Mario, right? Like I want an actual outfit on my character.
Yeah. Obviously, 2 already leaned into that with the different versions of characters. And I'm just glad that they're going all the way and just adding that as a feature to a more, I would say, more mainline Mario Kart, or even though there are tour tracks, and it's kind of weird. But it's good to see that continue after now Tour has just being stopped supporting, and to see it in like an actual mainline Mario Kart is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of the outfits. I mean, obviously, I think that's good. It's just fun to see different versions of characters, especially with 24 racers. You're probably going to get some duplicates, or if not a lot of duplicates. But the thing I don't understand is just how, like, why are they in the races? Like the takeout option. I don't get that. Like, am I going out of my way to unlock a costume during a race that I want to win? Or is there another reason for it? Like, I just don't fundamentally understand it. I find that a little confusing, you know?
So yeah, maybe if it's single player only, they'll have that just for another option.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can see that.
If you're playing with friends, like it's not like I'm going to tell my friends like, hey guys, let's like deviate from the race and let's go get food.
Can you guys take it easy on me? I go get a sick Mario costume of him wearing a sombrero. Right now. Yeah. I don't get it. Like, I wonder, like, is there a gameplay element to it? I don't think there is. Everything we've seen, it looks like they control the exact same, right? So, you get a boost. You said though, a small boost.
Right. Boost right away, and I think that's the only gameplay mechanic besides the outfit looking cool.
That's so weird.
But yeah, the actual mechanics of the game, they look pretty solid. Nothing to really complain about. I feel that they're not. It doesn't feel like there are as many improvements as I thought there would be while looking back at it. Like, outside of like grinding and doing the little smaller tricks, there's not much new in terms of actual racing mechanics, which I don't mind, because Mario Kart 8 was already really good in that regard.
Well, that to your point, that's kind of why I personally would want more of that unique stuff, But I will say, had it just been what we've seen so far, I might be feeling that way. Like, it's a little underwhelming. But I think when you combine it with the open world, like, dear God, this changes everything,
Oh yeah.
And like the grinding Sorry, go ahead.
To me, the main mechanic is not like the gameplay mechanics, because we know what Mario Kart is like. To me, it's the overall styling of the game that makes it far more interesting than anything else.
You know what? Exactly. Going back to the glider, like, I was really hoping we'd have power flight this time, but the more I think about it, I think the more like the glider actually makes perfect sense here. Like, within the context of it being a broader race, you can actually. Because my main issue with the gliders is less that they were gliders and more that it didn't feel like you could do anything with them. You were like locked into a little path usually. Even there were times when it almost felt like you would hit invisible walls. Like Toad's Turnpike had these weird areas where like you would suddenly be pulled to the ground. It felt like, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right. It was super weird. But here, I don't get that sense. Like, here, it seems like gliding could really change it up, and you have options for where to go, and so that's really cool. And also grinding as well. Like, I think that's going to be a kind of a game changer, especially with how we see it used in the map design, and like again with the weird wall hopping thing. It's like, that's crazy. I think everything combined is like really making this land on all levels. Because don't get me wrong, I would want almost nothing more than to bring double dash mechanics back. But besides that, I think they did the best possible job imaginable of making Mario Kart interesting again.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like, when we say we've been playing 8 for such a long time, it's like, besides bringing double dash, it's like, how else do you make Mario Kart interesting? You make the complete world the main gimmick of
right. Exactly. That's it. Yep. Yeah. That's a great point. Go ahead.
What do you think of the actual tracks though? Because the actual tracks seem wider than they were previously. I mean, obviously to accommodate for the more amount of racers in the world. But would you think that you want like small curves so that you have some congestion going on there? To have the battle for the first place or for the front ahead?
Yeah, so I think there is going to be an issue there, right? Like, I think a lot of the courses are going to be made for 24 players in mind. But I think also like the Grand Prix courses, even though they're going to be reusing some more courses for the rally or the knockout rally and the Grand Prix, I think the Grand Prix ones might reuse, say like at your Peaches Stadium, it might be more condensed to have those close quarter combat interactions with players, because again, you're just playing these 4 races in a row, and it's not the knockout challenge where it's like, oh, you want people straggling or falling behind, because then those people are actually out of the race.
It's an interesting balance. I think you need to find like a middle ground to it. I think they did a well enough job of doing that, because the thing is, like, yes, you can build like very tight courses, but it also doesn't exactly accommodate for the amount of players that they're currently going to operate with.
Yeah, that's actually a legit concern. I remember like going back to some classic tracks that classic tracks they brought back in Mario Kart Deluxe, and going back to the original versions in the older games, like, they feel better here because like they're more narrow, and it feels like it takes a little bit more skill, or not even that. It just feels like there's more happening because it's all within the condensed area. I will say I haven't been too affected by that yet from what I've seen in Mario Kart 8 World. Oh, sorry, Mario Kart World.
Not Kart 8 World.
Yeah, but I think one thing they're doing here is they're creating a lot of multiple routes, and those multiple, like the split routes, are like generally on the smaller side, when you're not on like a freeway or something.
Sure, yeah.
The area where it triggered, I don't want to say triggered, the area where I noticed it the most, Don, to your point, is in the is it Knockout where you're racing to the next track, or is that both?
Yeah,
of them?
Knockout is like the 99 F-Zero 99
and
style.
that's where you actually racetrack to racetrack, right? Or is that in both of them? Do you go racetrack?
It's in both. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. In the in between segments, that's the part that looked a little boring to me. I'm like, oh, these clearly aren't meant to be like they're not as well designed as a typical racetrack.
Yeah.
So this is just gonna be boring racing, racing to racetrack. And I'll also say this may not be a real concern. I was a little I don't even know how you would address this, but I was hoping like it would feel more natural racing racetrack to racetrack, but it just treats it like as its own like race. So like the race ends and you move into the start of the next race. And that seemed a little weird to me too, I don't know. Maybe.
No, I noticed it on Crown City. I think they were going from, I don't know which area to Crown City.
Yeah.
And when they were going, I think like 2 of the 3 laps were just driving on the highway. And the last one was actually in the city. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, why are you making those parts? Like, I know it's cool. It should have just been like maybe 1 to get to the city, and then the last 2 should have been it. It shouldn't have been the final lap is in the actual level.
Maybe their concern is that if you do it through like 1 lap or 3 laps through a city, it might become boring. I don't necessarily feel it that way, because now you're just doing it as the long tracks in Mario Kart 8, right? Like you're just doing multiple checkpoints, and the end point is like literally at that point the end of the city. I think there is a concern there that you make the first 2 parts less interesting and then the final part mega engaging.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think they need to find the balance there. Once again, from the things we've seen, I think they did a fair enough job. I just think most of the first checkpoints could be the least exciting things in every race, really.
Yeah, I'm not like super concerned right now. Like as I mentioned, I'm so freaking beyond hype for this game. It's just a possible concern that we'll see how it shakes out. But another weird thing with, actually not a weird thing, I wanted to compliment the game with like I tweeted it out, but there's this awesome map on the website that shows like how every course can interlink. It's freaking wild.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's so cool. Like I love that. You can have one track lead to a whole different set of tracks, And I'm curious more to see how the game actually handles that. We've already seen 2 cups that share 1 track already, just at different times of day. But I wonder, like, are you gonna be able to create your own tracks here? And also
like your own like circuit or something. It's just like, oh, let's like these 5 instead of, or these 4 instead of these 4.
Exactly.
Like, what the game already gives you.
Or a random circuit, or what I really want. I want all Cup to come back. You race every possible permeation of these track designs, from one to the other. Like I want to go through every track in the game.
I wouldn't rule out the thing that there will be an all-round cup or all.
I think there will
cup,
be.
Because they also do it in open world racing games where you just do a whole round tour of the island.
That makes sense.
It would be a very smart idea. If
it absolutely would be. But we know we haven't seen all the cups yet, for sure. So. Yeah, man. Real quick, JY Jackie says Super NES Mario Circuits 1, 2, and 3 are back. I actually missed this. I did not see that was. Are they on the map? I'm guessing they must be.
I think you can see them maybe in the background in like a specific stage. But Andre, I don't know, or even Don, if you guys saw this, have we seen what CCs the options are for the game?
No.
Like when you started off, I don't think
we saw the menu. Didn't we?
Did we see in the menu? Was it 50, 100, 150, and then maybe 200? I mean, I guess mirror mode's not going to be here, right?
Oh, they pull a Twilight Princess and map the entire world.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm fine with that.
I think I saw in the menu I saw 50, 100, and 150. I don't think I saw 200.
No, 200.
Armin says Treehouse showed 50, 100, 100, and 150.
Okay.
Yeah. I think if there is a 200, I think that would probably be another future like expansion or something, like do DLC. I'm sure. Yeah. Actually, here's another thing we have touched on. I think this is going to be an ongoing platform for them. It's not going to be a one and done. They're going to build on this game, I think. At least with characters and maybe new modes. Although, thinking on now, like, new tracks would be weird. Like, how would they handle that? Like, if they added DLC tracks? A new continent?
I don't know. I think what you simply do is you add a warp pipe, right?
Yeah, I like that idea.
You add a warp pipe and you just go through it, and then it magically takes you to whatever the next part is. Like, oh, that makes sense in the Mario world.
I would say, once again, comparing this directly to the only thing I can, which is Forza Horizon, they would just add complete separated islands.
Oh, that's what they do.
Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah, that'd be great. You see like an island stroll up one day, you build a bridge to it or something, and yeah, you're set. That'd be really fun, actually. And and what's interesting about that too is that would change how the courses interlink, with the ones nearby as well. Like it would just change a lot of things. Man, I I'm so excited. So excited for Mario Kart World.
I can't believe we're going to talk about this again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we will. We'll be back. There'll be more to say for sure. And are we even done yet right now? Is there anything about this game, anything else we haven't touched on yet?
Oh, I guess we briefly touched about it. The no custom kart vehicles anymore. You
Thank
you
God!
don't get to pick your tire, you don't get to pick your body, and you don't get to pick your glider anymore. Gliders don't exist, so...
I know some people are upset by this. I'm not at all. I thought there's a few problems I had with it. Go ahead, Don.
No, I don't see the issue with it. Like, it became too meta to all hell.
Exactly.
It's for me, it was time to cut loose of it. Like, it was fun in the last couple of Mario Karts, and I don't mind it that it was there, but having just one unified body and knowing what you get out of a kart is completely 100% valid.
And I think you make up for that in the customization of the different outfits, right? Like, I love taking my time and customizing my car and making it unique to me. Even though, like, sometimes I'll make a car, even though if it's not good, I just like how it looks. But if they take that out, I mean, they did take it out. Since they did take it out and they give us these outfits for the characters, you see so many outfits for, like, I saw outfits for Bowser Jr. I'm like, oh my god, that's adorable. Like, I want to be like that Bowser Jr. in this specific kart. So I don't care about not making a car anymore.
Right. Yeah, you guys basically touched on it. Like, it created the ugly meta sense, you know, where everyone just chooses the same parts and characters. And let's be honest, most creations were ugly. Like, they didn't go together well. Like, they were hideous. And beyond that, my friends would take forever to choose their setup, especially if they didn't know what parts they wanted. So we'd sit there for 20 minutes while they're playing Make a Kart. I'm like, this is not why I play Mario Kart. So I'm glad they simplified it. And plus, you can just get more cohesion with these custom or these bespoke designs anyway. So
I have almost a really somebody in the chat, like JR Jackie, about talking about the tour tracks. I have a really weird idea for a DLC map.
Go ahead.
Just make a small world map with a bunch of the tour cities interconnected.
No.
Oh, so it's just like so you're saying like it's actual, like, since the tour places were actual places in real life, that they're just gonna go to like the real world.
You have the U.S. or like the world continent somehow. Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't ever want to see those back. They're already borderline with freaking Sunday. What's it called? Sunday High Sunday.
Sky High Sunday.
Yeah, that track's coming back for whatever reason. No one liked that track. I don't know what they're doing with it. Maybe it'll be better.
Oh, wait. You know why they're bringing it back?
Why?
Because at the very beginning, you shoot out and you're in the gliding section. When you land and you're at the steps, they have the grind rails. That's why they're bringing it back.
Oh, you're probably right. You can grind on those now. That makes sense, yeah. But hopefully it's better here. But I will say I would still take that over any of the city tracks. The city tracks to me never felt right. I found them hard to read. It was confusing to figure out where to go. Even with the giant arrow signs, I'll still go the wrong way sometimes, you know? And also, like, another thing that affected me, like, the little sidewalks, I keep feeling I can drive on them. You can't, though. I keep running into them. They're anyways. And the scale was
I wonder if you could drive there.
So you mentioned, like, not being able to drive on the sidewalks, and we did notice in one of our most recent shorts that traction isn't an option anymore. And we did also
for your
notice,
card
like,
stats.
Yeah. So when you're driving off-road, at least maybe just in the open world gameplay element, that your tires actually expand.
Right.
So, like, I'm not sure if what's going to be the option of what doesn't allow you to drive on those places like the sidewalk, and what does allow you. Like I said, maybe it is just the open world element that just changes your tires so you can drive everywhere, because there's going to be all these grassy plains and they don't want you to just slow down. It's like, all right, I'm going to take a lot longer since I'm driving on this, like, cool looking area.
That's a really good point. Could it be possible? Could it tie back to the character choice? That's how it used to work.
Oh,
your off-road stats were, the heavier the character, the slower you went. So maybe it ties back to it.
Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah.
Oh man! Oh, I see a Baby Park mentioned in the chat. Baby Park needs to be here. I don't know if it is. We could probably figure it out if it's on the map already. But if they only do the one lap thing, it'll be hilarious. Just go to Baby Park for a quick little detour, then you're out instantly after 5 seconds.
Well, listen. What if they did it for one checkpoint, but then you actually drive for the actual theme park?
That would be awesome.
That'd be
sick. That's a good idea. You could go on the rides in the background and stuff. Like you go on like a roller coaster or something. You drive on the roller coaster track.
That's what's going to be in space by Rainbow Road. It's going to be the improved Baby Park that's actually in space.
I love it. Roger, member of the channel, thank you, Roger, says, God, there were way too many city tracks. I groaned every groaned every time they announced another one in the expansion packs. Yeah, honestly, every time I come across one in our weekly tournaments, I'm like, God, not again.
There's no way you can groan at Singapore. That track is amazing. I love
Singapore.
I do
like. There's some I like more than others for sure. Yeah, Singapore's pretty good. Heavens has dropped the price. I think that's going to be a common complaint. But I did see another comment earlier. It was hilarious. I wish I kept track of who said it. They were saying, we were talking about the story mode. Like, that $8 price point isn't looking so bad anymore. So yeah, if they add a story mode like as robust or close to as like a, Diddy Kong Racing, or maybe more like a conventional 3D Mario, not to that same degree, of course, I dare say they may be justifying that price. I mean, I'm buying the game anyway, but I think it becomes more understandable if you have like this massive single player component and a massive online component. I can kind of see it, but if they, I'm buying it regardless, to be honest. It's going to be, I want to play this game, but I think that would go a long ways in justifying that gap to people who are upset by it, that they would better see. Like, it's effectively 2 games in 1 at that point, so...
But yeah, it's going to be interesting in 2 weeks to see what they're actually going to do, because they showed a lot.
They did.
They did show a lot.
Yeah.
But, so they have to be hiding some big things. At least I would hope. Why have a whole direct for something if you're not showing some major new features?
Yeah. How long do we think the direct's going to be then? Do we think just like 20 minutes? Do we think 40 minutes in the middle somewhere?
Hard to
it's
say.
Be like 20 to 30, right?
Like 30.
To me, it feels like a 15 or 20 minute done deal. Because why would you show more of every single track? That seems like a bad
That's what
move.
I'm saying. I don't think they will do that. I mean, they'll show some of that. I think they're going to spend a lot of time on hopefully other things, battle mode, single player component, if not story mode. And I actually think,
so.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I'm thinking 30 minutes feels right for it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, like you said, this is going to be an ongoing game, right? Like I think they probably touch up on that in the direct, right? They're going to be like, we're not just done like on the release. Like you can look forward to, maybe they'll call it season or something like that, which comes out in like August. So,
yeah, and actually we have not actually even learned anything of how the online works proper. Like how does the matchmaking work? Like how, like is it similar to Mario Kart 8? Like what do you choose tiers, or like what races you want to do? Like how does this even work?
So in the treehouse, I think it was locally that they were both doing that. Maybe they were playing on 2 separate switches, because I think they did have their own screens.
Yeah.
But what they did was, I think you just like click on like a player's name or something, and then you get to pick like which you want to do, like which cup, and then it just randomly picks the one out of the 2, and then you go right into the races.
Right.
Yeah, maybe everyone chooses.
Okay.
Maybe when everyone chooses I guess they'd have to be a region. You can't choose like tracks on the opposite ends of the world. Yeah, I wonder if there's a way you could choose tracks nearby, though, and then they combine it into a single cup. Like maybe
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
But I don't know that I'll overcomplicate things or what. Toadie says they're gonna add a battle pass. If there were a game to be, it'd be this or Splatoon. One of those two might get it, But I don't think Mario Kart will get a battle pass. But that'd be hilarious though.
I mean, Splatoon 3 technically had battle passes, but they were just building game with the catalogs.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. Any other hopes for this game before we wrap it up here? And chat, feel free to chime in too. Anything else you want us to address, or any hopes you have for this game?
Hopes? The music sounds awesome. When they first started with the harmonica playing, I was like, this rocks. This music. And then eventually when they showed Bowser and the other villains, I think it was like playing Bowser's theme. I'm like, oh, this is so good. This theme song is amazing.
And then the Galaxy song at one point.
Yeah, and then the Galaxy song. Yeah. And then Toad's Factory. Like, there were so many little hints.
Toad's Factory's on the map, people have found. So.
Oh, really? That's awesome. If the music's playing, it's got to
be. I know. It has to be there. So. Daan, any other hopes or thoughts?
No. I mean, we'll likely talk more about this game soon enough anyway.
Oh, we will be.
So,
well,
yeah.
If someone mentioned that they want to see a Goomba Tower character, or the other characters you want to see. I personally want that too. That would be freaking hilarious. You get a solo Goomba, you get the Goomba Tower Goomba. What else?
And they're already a doctor, so what else can they not do? Yeah.
Oh, I guess one more thing. Are we going to see Mii characters, and then are we going to see any Nintendo characters in this?
Nintendo characters maybe down the line. Mii characters, it kind of depends. I mean, the Mii option is still in the system menu as far as we know, so it's the Mii maker is still built in. Are they going to use it? Hard to say.
Yeah,
I don't think we saw it in the character selection menu, right? Like, and I don't know where you put that if you have like a sort option.
Don't hate me. I don't want the Miis here. I like Miis. They don't fit in Mario Kart. They feel weird to me. And...
Okay, but what? Hear me out. What if they did the Mii maker from Miitopia?
I didn't even use that one, but
that was pretty detailed, right?
Yeah, that was extremely detailed.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, if they're gonna add Mies, add the best version of it, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing the chat to bring up some other good characters. Egad, yes, Egad needs to be here finally. Yeah. Jeez, he's had his creations in the game. Where's Egad himself? And there's gotta be a Luigi's Mansion track. Is that somewhere on that map? I'll have to take a look.
There has to be.
There has to be, right?
We
have seen a fun haunted house like level, but one involving movies. Like there's a giant reel.
Oh, I did see that with King Boo driving.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so strange, but I'm cool with that. Like I love these new theme ideas. I actually thought about making this video a while ago. I kind of wish I had now. But like, what themes have Nintendo not explored for Mario Kart yet, right? And maybe I'll do it after this. But now there'll be even fewer themes to think of. Diddy Kong, yeah, we talked about that earlier. Diddy Kong Erasure, where's that? Someone wants Petey Piranha back. That'd be a good one. He's kind of the original off-the-wall character, I feel like. He's like the first, like, whoa, what the hell he's doing here, you know? And that was kind of fun. Toadsworth, yeah, but Toadsworth is dead, as we all know now. They killed him for the... Cappy, yeah, that's not a bad one. Cappy. Who else? Dixie, yeah, she's in tours, so there's hope for her. Captain Toad's costume's a good one, absolutely.
I don't think we got Funky Kong hasn't been announced yet, right? I think Donkey Kong's the only DK member.
Right, so great point. Where's Funky Kong? We need Funky Kong after Tropical Freeze, especially. Also, someone mentioned another... Oh! Someone mentioned Donkey Kong Jr. That'd be a hilarious throwback. Bring that guy back. Technically in Mario Kart Tour as well, but
yeah.
So, but as a skin of DK. But yeah, we'll see how this works. Pac-Man.
Yes.
Oh yes, finally bring in something from the arcades. Pac-Man would be great.
And it's Pac-Man's 45th anniversary this year, so like it would be crazy. Even though Pac-Man is in that Mario Kart, it'd be crazy to have him in for like that reason too.
And the Ghost too. Yeah, you know, we didn't touch too much on the spin-off character idea. I don't think we get spin-off characters here yet. I could see that being like an expansion though, right? Like here's Nintendo Island rolling in. You get Link, Kirby, or whoever else, you know. And actually, Connor says since Kirby has his new racing game like Kirby Air Riders, I wonder if we can see Kirby in Mario Kart World. What do you think?
I think it's possible. Like you said, like that idea of having these other islands where it's like, oh, you drive over here, you take the warp pipe, and now you're in a F-Zero specific region, or you're in a Zelda specific region.
Yeah, I don't think we see Kirby at launch, just because I don't think they want any possible confusion between this and Air Riders, for as different as they may be.
Yeah.
Then why buy this if I get Kirby and Mario Kart, right? But I do think down the line that would be a really smart addition. Maybe even closer to Kirby Air Riders release. Maybe shortly after, like add Kirby to Mario Kart. Like, hey, they got that synergy, you know? So, yeah. Anything else, guys? Or have we covered it? No! No Mercedes, Almagello. No Mercedes!
Oh, yeah. No. This game does not need to have real-world crossovers.
No. Put in a Mercedes.
Ah, yes, you got it, Don. I'll say if we see a Mercedes, then Switch 2 sales are in the toilet. That tells you they went too far. No one's buying Switch 2.
Yeah, they should add BMW instead.
Yeah, exactly. That's desperate Nintendo right there. So,
but that was the only reason why they added it, right? Because the Wii U wasn't doing well.
100%.
Like, I have no idea why that was in Mario Kart.
No, that's exactly it. Their sales were in the toilet. I don't think they ever admitted this, but that's exactly why. Like they needed money. They were looking for money any which way. And to their credit, that's how we're finally starting to bear the full fruits of that labor. Because that's where they really started expanding. They went into mobile games, for better or worse. But the movies started coming about there. The theme parks started coming about there. And I'm a big fan of both those. And we're getting more of those, you know, as well. So that's great. But that Mercedes line, they crossed a Mercedes thing. I hated that. I'm like, this is disgusting, Nintendo. You know, using your character just to hawk, you know, expensive wares that most people can't even afford anyway, you know? Like,
my brother picks that car every time. I'm like, it's not Mario Kart. Like, why are you picking that?
I know you're joking, JY Jackie. It wasn't an attack on you at all. So, or whatever that was. I think you commented something else. So in any case, yeah, anything I've commented on is not an attack on anyone's like stance. So, yeah. Any final thoughts? Just look at the chat here. Are they bringing up? Oh, a Nintendo World track. That'd be fun. Bringing a real world location into the game, like Super Nintendo World, like actually race to the theme park, right?
Well, because even with that, I noticed that over in like the dinosaur area that they have like a Jurassic themed level. It's not like Dino Jungle, which is also there from GameCube, but like you're actually going through where the dinosaurs live, and they're definitely in like cages almost.
Yeah,
and it feels like Jurassic Park.
It does. And again, another throwback to Double Dash, which had its own dinosaur Dino Jungle, I think. Yeah, Don.
Sorry?
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you had something you wanted to say.
No. I was just reading the chat.
Okay. All right. Well, now that we've discussed everything, how are we feeling even now about Mario Kart? Like, are we more hyped somehow than before? Like, what are your hopes and your expectations for the Direct? I guess to whatever degree we haven't discussed it.
I really hope we go into that single player stuff like we mentioned, right? Like tomorrow they'll probably still show off some stuff at the Treehouse Direct, but I hope. I mean, this showing was already kind of like a blowout, right? Like, so I can't imagine what else they're going to have to talk about for 20-30 minutes. So they definitely still have juice left before it actually comes out.
Yeah.
Get from Mission Cafe. I think for me, it's like, I mean, for me, it's a sort of a known entity after the Switch 2 presentation. There's not much they need to show me to really be convinced.
No, I'm already sold. Yeah, it seems redundant.
But it means that they likely have some stuff in the bank that they want to discuss, and I hope they do. But yeah, there's still stuff that feels lingering that they should talk about in some way, shape, or form. I don't necessarily think it's all big stuff, but for me, it would just more cement it.
Wait, do we think this game's going to have game share? Because they did say that select Switch 2 games are going to have this feature.
I don't think they're gonna give immediately Mario Kart game share.
Well, do you think they retroactively change it after all the flack they've gotten?
That's a good one. I wonder if the open world nature of the game makes that harder to do.
Yeah. I don't think they will do that. Even if they would do it, I don't think it would need to give it time because this is their big launch game. Let's be fair.
Okay, there's a couple more comments I have to address because Armin, and a couple people have touched on this now. Armin says, is the T-Rex from Oz going to be a playable character? Oh my god. It opens the door to it. I normally don't care about Mario Kart rosters. It's always the same people over and over and bad variants of them. But this one is really switching it up. And I could see, like, not a full-sized T-Rex, obviously, but like a little mini version.
Switch it up?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be amazing. I would love that.
No, they're going to add the band member from Mario Odyssey.
Hey, actually, that'd be fun. I would love those guys. Yeah, that's a good one. The whole band crammed into one tiny cart.
An actual man in Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's right. It wouldn't make any sense, but whatever. Moacat Chan says, I cried seeing this game. I don't love hearing about people crying, but I like hearing that. That's a great reaction. Let's see here. Anything else? Roger just wants to play it. Yeah, that's where we're all at.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where's King Babam, says Bay. Yeah, that'd be a good character.
We have one from X Grizz says Chris Pratt Mario outfit ?
I honestly myself, I would love to have the Mario movie representation here, except for the fact it would be it would be a little weird compared to the game versions, even though they don't look all that different. But I'd allow for it. I love the Mario movie. I would love any representation of it here, and we are kind of getting it to a degree, with the Donkey Kong design.
Donkey Kong, yeah,
exactly. So, and especially if it's Chris Pratt talking, hey, that'd be amazing. So. All right, I think we're going to finally wrap up here, guys. We've gone over 2.5 hours, which is longer than we had expected. So thanks so much for joining me, Nick and Don. Where can people follow you at if they want more from you? Let's start off with you, Don.
You can find me at Nintendo. That's NENTENDAAN. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. There you go.
All right. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, you can follow me on my personal channel, Steftendo. That's STEFTNDO. I make videos over there and also been making videos over here on GameXplain.
Yeah, and they've been great. So, yeah, quite a few these last few days. All right, well, with that, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's been a ton of fun. We'll probably do another one of these again following the Switch 2 Direct. And yeah, we don't do these discussions as live streams too often, so let me know what you think of this. Did you enjoy it being a live stream versus just a pre-recorded video? Or do you prefer those? We'd love to hear it. See, we had a lot of engagement. It's been fun bouncing ideas off of you and hearing your ideas. But yeah, I will be honest. I think I'm at a 10 for hype with this game. I think Mario could get there again, but I think it has. I'm so excited, especially for the upcoming Direct, and I can't wait to talk about this game even more. So, on that note, everyone, thanks for watching. It'll be a fun weekend, I think. I'm going on a quick business trip, and you'll see the results of that pretty soon. It doesn't involve Switch 2, but it does involve Nintendo to a degree. It should be a lot of fun. On that note, everyone, again, thank you for watching. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, let me get the Discord link one more time, if I can. So if anyone wants to join the Discord, you can, before we fully wrap it up here. And got my notifications for anything have been nuts the past few days. I can't even keep up on everything. Jeez. There's the Discord. Hopefully this is the right one and not my work Discord. Just have like 100 people hop into that. All right. There we go, chat. Go ahead and join us there. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.